Happy Halloween. Hey y'all, let's do some baking. So today, let's do these double chocolate peanut butter. They've got Reese's Pieces in them, and that's what makes them so perfect for Halloween or spooky season. Let's get started first on making the dough. First thing you're gonna need 2 sticks of butter. I use salted, you can use unsalted, up to you, but we need to soften them. So there's 2 ways of doing that. 1, you can sit them out for a very long time and just let them sit on the counter. Or 2, if you don't have that much time, you can pop them in the microwave for 8 seconds. What you want is for your finger to be able to make a little indentation into it, but don't melt it. Okay, so we'll be right back with these. Okay, now we have our butter, which is perfectly softened. See, this one's kind of melting in. I can definitely put a fingerprint in, but they are not totally melted. Need 1 cup of regular sugar, and we're going to swipe it over. I've got an empty bowl here, and we're gonna swipe it right on over. We've got 1 cup of sugar going in. Next is gonna be brown sugar. For us, we're gonna do 1/2 cup. I already put it in here. This is pressed nice and tightly into the 1/2 cup. My daughter always says plop. Okay, so now that we've got our bowl, butter and sugars, we're gonna blend that together with our nice little hand mixer. And the next thing we're gonna do is what I call the big 3. That's gonna be salt, baking soda, and vanilla. And the reason I call them the big 3 is because they're super easy to forget because they're really tiny, and once they go in the bowl, they're easy to forget if you've done them or not. We've got a 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda right here. That's going in. With our vanilla, we're gonna do 2 teaspoons. So I've got my teaspoon right here. 1 and 2. And then salt, which is super important. 1.5 teaspoons. I like my things salty, so take that same teaspoon. Here's my salt. 1. Okay, next after that, we've got our 2 eggs. So we're gonna add these 2 eggs. We are ready to blend again. So this is sort of the midway point. This one's gonna be really easy to blend because it's got a lot of liquid in it. And blend this up. Or just on medium speed here, even kind of on a low. Turn that off. Now is the point when I go through the recipe and make sure I added everything that I wanted to this point so I don't mess anything up. So let's see, check off. Butter, check. Sugar, check. Light brown sugar, check. 2 large eggs, check. Vanilla, check. Salt, baking soda, great. So we've come to the flour part of the program. It'll change the height of your cookie. It'll be flat pancakes, really tall biscuits. Okay, so here's what I do. I have another dry measuring cup. I'm gonna scoop my flour into it. I'm gonna pack it pretty tight. And again, I'm gonna overfill it and I'm gonna knife right over this oopsies bowl. 1 cup of flour. There, that goes in. Now for this one, because we're making a double chocolate, we need cocoa to go in there. And so I use this special dark. This is darker than a regular. If you don't have this, you can use a regular cocoa, but it'll come out a lot lighter. So you might have to add more just to get that flavor and to get the coloring. So we've got a 1/4 cup cocoa right here. So that's gonna add right into the dry. So now we're here and we need to blend it up. Now this is where you can really, really spill and splash this all over yourself. So start low and start mixing the moist stuff together with the dry stuff, and then you can start going a little faster. So we're getting pretty mixed here. And again, you don't want to keep mixing and mixing. Just once you're mixed, stop. Okay, so I'm gonna bring this up and do my little trick to get that off of there. So now we have our base dough. Now the next things really are just the fun stuff. So I've got some chocolate chips that we're gonna add in. So this is a 1/2 cup of chocolate chips going in. The thing that makes this so festive are gonna be the Reese's candies. So I'm pouring those in. Then we just need to incorporate those on low. And if you do it too much, you're gonna crush the candies. So just a little bit, just enough for it to go in. You could also hand mix this. But if you're delicate with it, you can do it with the mixer, which is easier. And now you have your dough. So the next step is gonna be putting it on a baking sheet and getting it in the oven. I love to use these air bake type little pocket of air there, but you don't have to. You can use any kind of tray, but I definitely recommend parchment paper, which you can get at any grocery store. We're just gonna pull this out and rip it to size because it helps with the baking and then it helps with the cleanup and it makes it super simple. I've got this awesome baking scoop. It's like a tiny little ice cream scoop. You don't have to, you can do it with a spoon. This makes it 1,000 times easier, so I recommend. And then we're just gonna spoon out this much dough. We're gonna put 12 of these on a tray. The next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take some of these extras and just put in a couple to the top of each of these. So that way each one for sure has a couple really fun and pretty colors coming out. And so now we have our beautiful tray of 12. Here is my tip. If you have the time, bake just these and save the rest until this comes out of the oven, because if something comes out, you'll still have time to tweak it if it's not perfect. If they come out too flat, you could put in a little bit more flour. If they come out lighter than you were expecting, maybe a little bit more cocoa, or maybe you can adjust the timer temperature. That way you don't put everything in all at once. So I'm just gonna put in these 12 and then we're gonna see how they go. For just a standard home oven, you're gonna heat the oven to 375 and then bake for 9 to 11 minutes. You're gonna wanna put it on the shortest time, 9, and then watch it. And I would just kind of stand really close to it because those last few minutes are gonna change really fast. Okay, into the oven. Cookie timer just went off. Going to get them. Woo! They smell very good. So I'm just gonna slide this straight off onto the countertop. Okay, now we're gonna plate these up. I've got a nice white platter here, so we're going to stack all the cookies in the center. We're gonna make a little trick-or-treat platter with the cookies and then some candy around. Set this out at your Halloween party and everyone can come by and have a little treat and no tricks. So we're just gonna put these all to the center here. Then we're gonna take a nice little glass bowl and fill it with some Halloween candy. Here we go. And that goes there. I'm doing some sugary candy because I'm a big chocolate person, but everyone else in my family always wants the sugary, the fruity stuff. So let's give them what they want. So this goes on there too. And of course, candy corn. You can't do Halloween without it. I actually kind of like candy corn. I mean, everybody kind of likes candy corn, right? Do you know that this is the most popular Halloween candy, Reese's Cups? So we gotta put those on. I found these neat unwrapped ones, which would actually make for a really good cookie. So maybe we'll come back another time. So now I have tons more space even for more cookies. So I'm gonna add more, because really the cookies are the main part of the show. And then I'm gonna sprinkle, just garnish around the rest of the tray to fill it in so it looks nice and festive. All right, here's our trick-or-treat platter. Happy Halloween.